it seems like the basic need that arose was of data governance. Until Gen 1, we were not talking about data governance. We were talking about data discoverability and
Yes.
analytics as the use case. But then you're saying the data itself that you're trying to discover might have quality and inconsistency issues. And a lot of
Yes.
metadata gets generated. You mentioned metadata needs to be managed. So data governance is the new need that is coming up. Then data quality is a new need that is coming up. And then you also talked about, I think, data lineage and business glossaries, etc. So to address these needs, you're saying Gen 2 data catalogs came into the picture.
Yes. Yeah. So Gen 2 is generally is a data catalog is a part of it, but generally it's a data governance platform, becomes a platform
Hmm.
because the business glossary, data lineage, data quality, everything started combining and clubbing it into one and becoming as a, some people are saying that this is an extension of a data catalog because it's a new concept. Some people are saying, hey, this
Okay.
is a data governance platform where the data catalog is one part of it, but we have business glossary data. So people are started talking
Hmm.
differently, but the need is actually doing data governance. And the data which is presented in the data catalog, the objective is that this need to be high quality. This need to be trusted. This need to be right data. So if I am finding my customer information, if I found the customer information, that customer information is actually the what I'm looking for. It should not be the one which
Hmm.
is, I should not make a decision from a wrong report. I should not make a decision from the wrong data. I should make the decision from the right data. Facilitating all these features is really the generation two.
The way you are describing it seems like data governance is almost like a separate need, and data catalog needed to evolve to enable the data governance. So some new features. So maybe if you could tell us what new features did the Gen 2 data catalogs needed to have over the Gen 1,
Yes.
because to
Yes.
in order to do some of these things
So,
like
so
you
the one of
mentioned.
the complex requirement for the data Gen 2 is data lineage, like where the data come from, where it goes. Although it seems very simple, but in order to facilitate the data lineage, because it's a complex process. So give you
Hmm.
just to understand that a large global bank spent $100 million to build the data lineage from end systems to a couple of things. Why so? It's about 5 years ago. And the reason for that is that because the compliance was pushing them that, hey, you need to know that
Hmm.
where the data need to come from. Imagine the scope of that. The $100 million, they manually stitches the data together. Now, because
Hmm.
all the vendors realize this is an opportunity, so we started building the technology around it. That how do we simplify and automate that process, because it was a complex, cumbersome process to build the data lineage. So we innovated the technology of parsing the source code. Couple of customers, couple of vendors innovated the technology of parsing the log files. So we are trying to figure out where to get the insights from. The source code is
Hmm.
a truth, basically. That's where the data is getting moved from. So we thought of that as the right technique, which worked really well for us. So we took the source code, we parsed it, and we figured out where the data is moving from source system A to system B to system C to system D.
Hmm.
And that's where we were able to stitch the lineage. So the stitch lineage is the key part of it. And obviously the data quality, to check the data quality, whether the quality is moving from system A to system B to system C, is working throughout
Hmm.
the better or not. So that basically is the main aspect of the data governance. And that's the features is needed for that.
Mhm. And I think from a governance standpoint, you also mentioned roles, like, for example, you mentioned data owners, data stewards,
Yes.
uh, whi-
So that is another
which would have.
requirement is also there. Yeah. So the ownership, stewardship, custodianship, who owns what data, the what kind of extended metadata is needed. Those are features are also needed in the data catalog. This were also there somewhere in Gen 1 as well, but Gen 2 need to evolve much better. Ownership is there in even Gen 1, but Gen 2 is that how I can have a flexible ownership. Only for these data, I want this ownership. For this much data, I want that person to be owner. I want my flexibility, and that kind of features
Hmm.
started evolving in the data catalog. And now it becomes much more easier for like Gen 2 data catalog is to search the specific data element, and you can say, okay, these are the things I want for these particular data assets. I want Saurabh to own this data, and I want Sharad to
Hmm.
own this data. So those kind of things started coming up. The research facilities was needed more in the data catalog to provide and facilitate those ownership, custodianship into the product.
Got it.